It is April Fool's Day. This was hilarious. Volkswagen tried to do an April Fool's Day gag where they said, we're going to call ourselves Volkswagen. Very, very funny, because Volkswagen is volts like electric car. Unfortunately, it backfired, and all the investors around the world thought, oh my God, Volkswagen's gone green. Quick, pull out your shares, because electric cars, that'll never work. But anyway, they had to panic and explain, which you always have to do with German humour in my experience, that it was in fact just a joke. Sam, at the Labor conference this week, the electric car was brought back as official Labor policy, or was that just an April Fool's Day joke too?
That's great policy. It's great policy. You see, in Australia, we don't have any electric cars under, a Tesla price. I don't even know how much that costs. It's clearly outside my price range. But you go to, anywhere. You go to America, you go to Europe, and you can get electric cars for, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Here you just don't have it because the car companies don't want to bring it out because there's just not the market for it. So what Labor's policy says is for cars under $40,000, they'll give you a tax rebate. They'll cut your taxes. I think you like low taxes, Rowan. Come on, you can agree with that, right?
Nice defence there, Sam. Actually, I've still got the electric car by the side of the road I saw the other day with some poor sod whose battery had run flat. But Australia's slightly bigger than most of those European countries. Alex, surely the joke isn't just limited to Volkswagen. Isn't the joke on all investors when manufacturers say they're going green?
Well, look, I think the first thing to point out here is the Germans are great at chocolate, they're great at precision engineering, they're great at scenery, but they're really bad at humour. So it's time to drop that. I think that the last German joke would be Volkswagen becoming Voltswagen, and we may see in the last one. But look, you're right. We've all seen this from time and time again. The surest fire way for a corporate to lose money is to go woke. The old expression, get woke, go broke. It sort of almost happened here. We saw it with Gillette and their toxic masculinity campaign, and we're now seeing it with Voltswagen as well. So big lesson, the corporates are getting it. They're getting it very slowly, but they're getting it through the balance sheet, which we might say.
Exactly. Now, Alexandra, any favourite April Fool's Day jokes today that you saw, or ones you remember? Or it's hard to distinguish what was a joke and wasn't today.
Well, that's the problem with wokeism. It's completely killed any kind of April Fool's Day jokes. But I was IT support, so obviously in the office I hated Macs. So I used to go around April Fool's Day and just change everyone's mice to a different screen and watch everyone freak out as their mice were paired to the wrong computers, and it was brilliant.
Fantastic. You might have even put Sam onto the Spectator Australia website. That would have been a lot of fun. Gary, April Fool's Day jokes, mate.
The best one I remember was a radio station, the oldest commercial station here in Brisbane, 4BC. Back in the 70s, they turned their news guys out and read straight copy at the top of the hour news saying that there are reports of an incident on the other side of Mount Coot-tha, the big mountain in the middle of Brisbane where the TV channels are. And then they built the story up over the period of the morning through the breakfast shift, and it turned out that they said there'd been something had hit the mountain. Of course, a lot of light planes fly over that. So this is back in the 70s. Everyone tuned in, and eventually, yes, that's right, they went up and they said, now there seems to be this strange cylinder-shaped thing there. And it was War of the World stuff. My God, it's opening. The sound effects were absolutely brilliant. I think a bloke called Phil Lentz did that. And Chris Adams, a bloke I got to work with both these guys years later, were at the heart of this. But it was a gag back about 1976. And, Rowan, it actually made me want to be in radio, where, the theatre of the mind really does play out.
Well, back then
April Fool's Day joke we're still talking about.
Well, exactly. Well, the ad man in me liked the one that Dare and Vegemite did today, which was a Vegemite-flavoured drink, which I thought was hilarious. And also Deliveroo, I think, did one where they said that now that your pet can order you a treat instead. But there was an unfunny one by Mark McGowan, the WA Premier. He put out, tried to be funny, but I guess, Alex, when you have the kind of majority that Mark McGowan has, you can say anything and it's funny, or you don't really care if people think the joke's funny or not.
Well, that's right. You can almost do whatever you like. For me, though, I have to say the joke of the day was from South Australia Police here, SAPOL, who decided that they were going to put out a press release earlier on in the day that they were replacing their sniffer dogs with sausage dogs. and because they could get into vents and get into ducts, and most alarmingly, they could be winched in with a drone so that they could reach places that German Shepherds couldn't. That's all pretty alarming. What's more alarming is the fact that it took me a good solid half a day to work out it wasn't real. So
Exactly.
that's pretty alarming.
Exactly.